It's all too much, I think you said enough. It stinks hypocrisy to me.
Here we are then, a new video on living in a ditch. There's a shock. Yeah, I haven't really done many last year in 2020, or 2022? 2022. I tell you what, it's hard enough to bloody remember the date, let alone, or year, let alone do videos for this channel. But yeah, I will apologise for not doing so many in 2022, and let's hope 2023 I'm a little bit more active on this channel. But I just wanted to say I didn't set this channel up to become a shock jock or have to wake up every morning to look for something to rant about. That's not what it's ever been about. What it's about is how I feel and my opinion on things, which may not be your opinion, but it is my opinion, and I'm allowed to have my opinion as much as you're allowed to have your own opinions. And I like people that have their own opinion. They're stronger people, so long as those opinions are based on some sort of research rather than something the BBC told you. Those sort of people can bugger off. I won't listen to them. So, and I think that's fair enough, isn't it? I think most of you who would watch me would agree with that. So yeah, so happy belated 2023. Yeah, it is 2023, isn't it? Yeah. So, and I do hope you have a good year. I hope it's a lot better than the last few years for a lot of us. And obviously I hope you have good health. I hope you have prosperity. Although I don't think that's going to happen in 2023. I think they're going to suck us dry, if I'm honest. So, what are my wishes for 2023? Well, the first one is I wish people would wake the fuck up. I hope it's the year of a great awakening, but I fear it won't be. I'm still seeing sheeple going on about the old, let's wear this again. I mean, seriously? Are you having love? Oh, the NHS is in crisis. It's been in crisis ever since I can fucking remember. Well, certainly the last 10 or 15 years, 20 years. So it always has, you know, all this nonsense going on over Christmas, over the winter period. The thing is that people don't seem to want to admit is you'll have all these massively pro-NHS people. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't belittle the doctors and nurses within that organisation. It's the organisation itself that I think is not fit for purpose. And of course, you will get some shitheads in every sector of work anyway, wouldn't you? So not everyone's bloody angel either. But yeah, what doesn't seem to be spoken about a lot is, let's just take London for a moment. Within the last, I think it's the last 10 years, maybe it's the last 20 years, I'm not sure, but basically, the population of London, and this has happened all around the country pretty much, but I know the figures for London, it's gone up around 40%. So the population of London has gone up 40%. Now, the funding for the NHS over the last 10 or 20 years has probably gone up pretty close to that. But obviously the cost of stuff has gone up as well, so there's been inflation. So when you could buy a pill for maybe £3, now it's £100. So I get that, so don't be pulling me up on that one. But where's the 40% extra capacity in the NHS? Where is that? So, you know, immigration is a massive problem. I hope people wake up to it. I hope people wake up to not following the latest thing. It still grinds my gears when I see and I support something or other. So, you know, I've said this before on this channel, the I support Ukraine. Well, what the fuck are you doing to support Ukraine? What does it even mean? It means you're putting up a flag and giving me some empty words. I clap for the NHS, and they put the, you know, have their little round logo on their Facebook profile. I think, what the fuck are you doing clapping like a seal for? What does it achieve? It achieves absolutely nothing. They were busy bloody making TikTok videos. Let's not forget that. So yeah, they was really shitting themselves. I've heard, and this is the truth, I've heard through other people mind, so I was telling you, Dave told me, that, well, actually some of it is their family, that they were not busy during that time. The whole thing was not as it was being reported. And that's something else I hope happens in 2023, is people stop believing, or automatically believing, I should say. They should stop automatically believing that everything they hear on the mainstream media is actually the truth and it's the whole story, because often it's not. Now, what I would suggest everyone does is looks at alternative media. Now, I'm not saying to go and believe alternative media. I'm going saying look at some people like Matusi and other people on YouTube or other news sources rather than the mainstream news sources, because quite often they're following a narrative. So I hope people wake up to that. I also, the other thing that does make me laugh, people on social media now have got the little badge saying I've had my 4th booster. Well, maybe they should put that one on there because they fucking survived, so they're lucky. Of course I jest a tad. Just a tad. So yeah, I kind of hope there's a great awakening. I hope there's a great awakening on this climate bollocks. And it is bollocks. We cannot do this net zero. It's impossible without absolutely fucking our lives over. Now, if you're happy to do that, fine. You know, that's your opinion. Have you heard of the 15-minute cities yet? If you haven't, then you're not watching, you're not listening, you're not opening your eyes. The 50 base. I'll just give you the basics of it. You can go and look this up yourself because it's very easy. It's all over. It's all over alternative news sources. Basically, Oxford is the first one talking about doing it, and they're going to divide the city up into 5 sectors. I believe it's either 5 or 6, and basically these are called 15-minute sectors. So 100 times a year you are allowed to cross the sectors. Okay, so if you're in zone 1, you could go to zone 3 and go where you like for 100 days of the year. This is what's being reported, by the way. I can't confirm that this is 100% true, but you'll get the gist. For those other 265 days of the year, you have to either have permission or a good reason to be moving outside your own zone. So if you live in zone 1, you should not be leaving that zone for 265 days of the year. Now, you may think, oh, this is just one crackpot council, going above its station, and it will never happen. Well, actually, it's an agenda from the World Economic Forum. I'll say that again because I think I messed it up. The World Economic Forum. It's an agenda from there. They are talking about doing it to Paris as well, major city. What I believe this is for, this is for climate change, by the way. They're saying because it will make you use your car less. So this is the drive to net zero, or part of it. So what I think will actually happen, my personal opinion, is there will be an uproar about it, but what they'll do is they'll start charging people to say, okay, you can move outside those zones, pretty much like London. So everywhere becomes like London. That's my feeling. Whether I'm right on that or not, I don't know. We've also got this nonsense about electric cars, that we're not going to be able to buy petrol or diesel from 2030, and there's been a little bit of rumbling saying there's more restrictions going to come in 2025, so only a couple of years away. Now obviously that's rumour, so I'm not going to speak too much about that one. But yes, electric cars, those things that are charged up from an electrical point, which is run, it could be either with nuclear, gas, coal. I can't understand why people don't see this. I can't understand why people think that an electric car is any better for the environment than a diesel car. It's going to be very negligible. It's just nonsense. So yes, this climate agenda, basically the old and that I think that was a dress rehearsal, because, and I always said this, they've been able to control many people, and I do hope that people wake up to this in 2023. They controlled, probably a lot of you they controlled, and it's always going to be a hard thing to admit, but they did. What is it that Mark Twain says? The truth has no defence against a fool who believes a lie. And that's so true, because a lot of people who are really giving, people like myself who refused to believe the narrative, giving us so much bloody stick, and now they're finding that a lot of, well, pretty much everything I've said along the way has come to be. The old liquid medicine never ever was tested to start off with for transmission. Wakey, so everything that followed is bullshit, isn't it? And I've said this before as well. So when they're saying you need to have health workers have to have a mandatory juice. Mandatory juice, I say. It was based on a lie because it wasn't stopping transmission. It never has. I'd like to see, and maybe you can help me here, I'd like to see some absolute proof that the jabs did anything to stop symptoms or anything like that, because there was never a test group. It never happened. The thing is now it's the unvaxxed that are the test group, and you can, if you're awake, you can kind of see what's going on. So I don't know, you know, that the whole pandemic thing is obviously not the point of this video. The point of this video is because a lot of you aren't going to agree with me on that. This video is about waking up in 2023. Wake up, smell the coffee. Don't trust anything that you hear in the mainstream media. Check it out for yourselves. That's what I'm saying. Or as I said, don't automatically trust. Check it out on the web or any other news sources. Check things off. Honestly, honest to God. Don't just believe don't believe alternative media automatically either. Do a little bit of your own research, and then you'll feel so much better about yourselves. I hope people wake up in 2023 to the fact that, according to the ONS, the Office of National Statistics, so this isn't according to me, this isn't my opinion, this is what is ONS figures, which you can go and check for yourself. At the moment, there's more excess deaths than there were any time during the old you-know-what. Explain that to me, please. Also, as I was talking about the old muzzles coming back, I'm not sure how tolerant I'm going to be anymore with this, because they're just nonsense. They said that this is the thing I'm hearing. They're saying, well, if face masks didn't work, then how come flu got eradicated during the old you-know-what? Well, it didn't get eradicated, was it? It was all bunged in the same figures. That's how you got such big figures. It always was flu. It's flu AB. That's my opinion. In fact, that's fact. I just know it is. So yeah, I do hope people wake up to that. I really do. Because if they don't, and when they find out things, like I've just said about the 15-minute cities, go and check that out yourselves. And once you see what that entails and what that's the implications of that, you need to tell every single one of your friends. You've got to put it all over social media. This is the only way I can see us plebs making any difference in 2023, is to actually speak your mind. Don't worry about your bloody Facebook profile and someone slagging you off. I mean, I get slagged off all the time. Bugger it. So what? They're normally just gobs on sticks, so don't worry about it. Be true to yourself in 2023. Do what you believe in. Now, if you believe absolute opposite to me, that's good. That's what makes the world go round. You shout it from the blooming hilltops. I don't know where you shout it from. Up there somewhere. Yeah, shout it out loud if that's what you believe. But be prepared to be questioned, and be prepared to back it up. I'm not saying you have to back it up with figures, because I'm not going to do that. I'm going to give you the sources. I'll say I've done it already. You can go ONS for any of the stats on... everything's out there in plain sight. I hope in 2023, it's probably my biggest one actually, with the green agenda, I hope that the World Economic Forum and all those gobshites that go to Davos and all these places get uncovered for what they actually are. And it will happen. It's got to happen at some point. The snakes will reveal themselves, because they won't be able to help it, because they're looking for more power. Well, I think that's it for this one. I will do a lot more videos on this channel this year. I never like to rehearse them, so obviously this has been a bit all over the place. And that's how they're always going to be. I like to just speak it as I think it. So I hope you're all right with that. And as I say, I do hope you all have a great new year. And sorry it's a little bit belated, but there you go. Have a great day. Bye.